Hello friends, this is Derek from Tech Connection, and today we're going to be building a network in a retail space. I've already come through and poked around, looked in the ceiling for interesting things. The store is currently under construction, so let me take you through the space so you can get a sense of what it is I'm working on. Most retail locations fall into one of two categories: completely prepared with everything detailed and mapped out to the last inch, or completely unprepared. I haven't really seen anything in between. Those who come unprepared to a retail space rely heavily on luck. So let me give you an example of what I mean by relying on luck. This stuff right here in the floor is from a previous tenant. This was not installed on purpose by the new tenants who will be using this space. Now they plan to build a table right here, but that's only coincidence. If they had not been lucky and had this here, there would be no data services to their point of sale area. They forgot completely to build any kind of facility to make that work. Now, as I explore, I notice that this pipe goes under here and is connected to that faceplate. And then if you dig through, you can see the two cords that are coming out of the ground are passing through, and a couple of old phone cables are cut and just laying here. This actually works to our advantage most of the time. You can use these as a pull string and not worry about sacrificing any of the Cat6 that is actually going somewhere useful. So we're going to try and add some Cat6 here, and we're going to be using these as pull strings to do so. Now, as I step back, let's take a look at the ceiling. That's a hard ceiling, meaning that I can't get up there and use anything as a handhold to help me pull any additional Cat6. What I'm probably going to do is pull out these can lights and see if I can get a hand over above this area where I believe those flex conduit are ending. Let's continue our journey. Here's the electrical panel. And once in a great while, you'll find phone elements in this vicinity, but there's nothing. So we must continue until we get into the office. Now in the office, the ceiling is unfinished. And these are the Cat6 that you see in the ceiling, or not in the ceiling necessarily, but that you see over in the corner over here. They're going to run through the ceiling over to here. Now there's a few extra there, and the reason that there are a few extra is because the manager's area had some Cat6 from back when, and wouldn't you know it, luck wins again. Coincidentally, this is where they're going to put another manager's desk, and they win. They get some Cat6 out of it. So all I have to do is build the rack, install the Wi-Fi devices, get the internet online. So here is the challenge that we're going to be encountering. There's no power in this room. There's no lights. There's no AC. There's no internet. There's no nothing. So I'm going to get the rack built, but I'm not sure to what extent I'll be able to power it up. Now, many of you out there that watch my videos know that I'm based in Hawaii. This particular retail location is on a different island than the one that I live in. So we've flown out with everything that I could think of. We've got the access point, we've got a cable manager, I've got a switch, I've got a shelf, I've got power injectors, I've got all kinds of stuff. I also took the liberty of bringing a fold-out rack. As it happens, we're on the island of Maui right now. And on Maui, it is really challenging to buy network equipment at the last second with no warning. This is the kind of situation you need to ship everything you can think of ahead of time so that you're not missing anything. If I determine that I'm missing something, what I'm going to do is call my friends out in Oahu, all my colleagues, and I'll have them fly over carrying in their hands whatever it is I'm missing. But I think we have enough to get this more or less built, so let's get on that. All right, starting to get unpacked. I did bring with me shelf, patch panel, cable manager. This is a rack adapter for the router, Wi-Fi, switch, and I'll crack that open. We'll get it up on the wall. All right, the basics are done. Now, good thing I didn't film that because you would have seen me drop it. And I scratched the wall in the process, so I'll also be painting this on top of anything else I end up doing. So like any good documentarian, I am gonna have to show you my mistakes. Y'all don't miss a trick anyway, you would have called it out in the comments. I have no doubt about that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up for now, and I'm gonna enjoy the beach for a minute, and I'm gonna come back and keep going. Okay, this is job site etiquette. All this dust is from my feet. This is the bottom of my shoe, and I've been tracking footprints everywhere that I go on the job site, but none of this stuff was here when I got here. When I got here, this was a pristine floor. So before I go, I'm gonna sweep all that up and make sure it looks just as pretty as when I got here. Other tradesmen will not appreciate if you leave a mess. So that's very important, is to clean up all our traces of our presence. All right, my absence has given us time to put down ram board so that we don't track any more footprints on this floor. All right, I got my router installed, so it's time to start terminating. And in order to do that, I'm gonna bring these up and over. So we're gonna pull them through this hole. Looks like only 2 go through the hole, and then 2 come out the bottom down there. So I'm gonna see what's what, pull this through, and bring it through to the panel. Oops. Caught some there. All right, we did it. All right, gang, getting this configured. So the laptop makes an appearance. We're gonna get that configured, and you'll notice, or I hope you'll notice, there's not yet a modem. That's coming in about 30 minutes, they tell me. So as soon as that's here, we'll get the internet going. Pretty good megabits for a retail space, I would say. I'm just about done here. The internet installer came and got everything done in record time. So now I have a modem and I got blinky lights. We've got Wi-Fi. Time to wrap it up and go home to the island that I'm from. It's a short plane ride to get on home and go to bed. It's gotten quite late. I've been here all day. I really appreciate that you hung out with me. I'll see you guys again real soon on my next journey. And until then, happy network building.